I would like people to appreciate it for what it was. That it was a way for men to earn a living and support their families, and that they were able to do that. Maybe not to today's standard, definitely not to today's standard, but they were able to provide and send children to college and that kind of thing. And I would like it to be appreciated for what it was. It was not all it could have been. It was segregated. Even the family days were separate. But I didn't get any sense of desperation in anybody. I don't remember an unhappy time, to tell you the truth.
The business model of the late 19th century textile industry in the South depended upon a great regional migration of tens of thousands of white farming families. They were pushed off the land by ruinous tenant and sharecropping practices and lured into public work in the burgeoning mill towns of the Piedmont by the prospect of housing, steady work for multiple family members, and the amenities of village life. A distinctive culture grew out of cotton mill work and mill village communities in North Carolina, affecting every aspect of everyday life. For nearly a century, this transformation largely excluded African Americans. Textile mills were segregated workplaces with few, if any, opportunities for black workers. For white workers and their families, Rocky Mount Mills and others like it were more than jobs. They were communities.
Well, it's like a close-knit family for the whole community. Just about all your kids play together. We come down here to the ball field behind our houses over here to play ball on the weekends. Baseball and football and stuff like that. All the kids, we get together. In fact, if you want to know where the kids were, just look for the bikes. The bikes are all in the yards and everybody just kind of gathered. All the parents looked out off the kids. Ain't like it is now.
And a lot of them drifted away, went away. A lot of boys went in the army, and a lot of them went different places. Some stayed on till the mill, the mill changed over and it wound up mostly all black people. By then, all of the older people and everybody was retired and gone, and so they had to hire black people. Somebody had to run it, and it didn't keep it running long after that. Not many years.
The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed racial discrimination in hiring. At Rocky Mount Mills, this legislation had an immediate impact. The first black worker on the production floor started in 1965. African American workers eventually would become the majority at the mill, as they did elsewhere in the South. In a little over a decade, African Americans made up more than a quarter of all Southern textile workers, up from just 3% in the early 1960s.
I worked at a place that were putting in air conditioning and farming, that's all. I had a couple of friends that were working there, and I just filled out the application and they called me.
Yeah, when I first started working on the farm. I've been working on the farm most of my life. And my wife got pregnant, and I said I got to have a better job. So I come down here and talk to most of them, can't keep up with his name, but anyway, I talked to him. And I called him every week. I really got tired of me calling because I called him every week. I got to have a job. So he told me, said, you come down here and said, I'm going to find something for you to do. So that's when he took me to the shop.
Well, a lot of black people start coming in and just kept hiring, and then they kept being promoted up. Well, I was supervisor in '79, then I had another supervisor. My supervisor came in and we didn't get along too good. So I got off the job and went back to section leader for a while. Then they ran short of help, and I started filling in. And I just kept filling in and filling in. So John said that, won't need me to work like that. So he promoted me again. And that, from then to it closed, I was supervisor. I was supervisor over the opening, carding, drawing, and roping. And I had approximately 30 people working under me.
Jobs at Rocky Mount Mills weren't highly paid, but they did offer benefits and economic stability for many families.
Well, we closed down 4th of July. Everybody got bonus, and we got Christmas bonus. Then they paid our insurance and stuff. Then when Blue Cross stepped in, they still paid a big percentage of our insurance and stuff. And so they took care of the people.
After more than 2 decades of change, Rocky Mount Mills started to slow down operations in the late 1980s and early 1990s. With increased foreign competition, it was harder and harder for the company to make a profit. In 1996, the mill's owners announced that they would be closing in the summer.
Devastating. Actually, it slowed down way before 96, because I believe Burlington started before 96, and most of the workers went there. I don't think it was going downhill in the sense that it was falling apart. It's just that the industry was changing. The kind of things that they were doing were being done elsewhere and at a different technology.
It kind of, it tore everybody up, because what had happened, they had come to us about 2 or 3 weeks before then and said it won't close. So this, when they said the mill will close, it caught everybody unexpected, because they weren't expecting for it to happen. So it kind of put everybody in the whirlwind. So, what we gonna do? We ain't gonna job. What we gonna do?
We knew we weren't treated equally, but we were able to do what we needed to do to progress. Our parents were able to provide for their families, their children, and everybody had a sense of achieving to get further in life. That sense of purpose, of wanting to be the best you could be, period, was there regardless of your condition, of your color of your skin. Even though the oppression was there, was unmistakably there. It's important to me that the pride of the Black community be shown too, not just the depression. And to be able to work here was a prideful thing.